Sure.
So I was telling her, so we're talking about my emotions and like how I feel stronger, and one of the ways is like something that Casey taught me, but it's really hard for me. It's like giving compliments to myself.
Yeah.
It's really hard. He does it all the time. He stands on the mirror and he's like, "Oh, I'm so handsome."
Yeah.
So good looking.
This guy moving that way. Yeah. You have to.
Yeah. I feel uncomfortable because there are people behind me. Maybe we could park in the.
Oh, he's moving. There he goes. Yeah, for someone who already knows how to love other people really well and like treat other people well, so that person needs to learn to like do unto themselves as they do to others. You know, like use your best voice, your kindest voice, and your sweetest voice.
Huh. I should do that. Give myself hugs.
You know, like sometimes
I'm really
like
bad in parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fantastic person. Really? Yes. Yeah. See there, I just said something nice about myself. See, when you know, because when you know what you are, like then you know you get in the park.
I'll just climb over here.
No, I haven't driven a car in months and months and months.
Way too short.
Big dude.
Yeah, so, so then I said, like, I'm starting to do that. I've been starting to do that recently. And, like, trying to give myself more compliments. And, like, it's like, really, really, like, giving myself a compliment, like, next to someone else. It's really, really hard. And what happens is I give a compliment, and then I explain it. I'm like, so the one thing I'm really, like...
Hey, dude. Sorry.
I said she's like, one thing that I'm like, I know I'm really smart, and then I'm like, but that's just because I thought like so much all my life. I'm like a thinker, and like I always thought. Sometimes I think too much, and it's not necessarily like a. It's not necessarily like a good thing, like but I got to be really smart because I thought so much, like and every compliment I give myself, I like justify it and explain how everyone could be there. So now we got to the conclusion that I'll give myself a compliment, and then I'll explain that everyone could do that, but then end it with like.
That's good though.
But I'm still smart.
It's stronger. Yeah, that's great. So you're acknowledging your gifts, and you're also elevating other people and sharing the gifts in them, and then also re-acknowledging yourself.
Yeah.
It's not just giving yourself compliments though. It's also just like how you talk to yourself. Like if I make a mistake, or I miss a note on the guitar, or I say the wrong thing, or I say something that I didn't mean to say, or I trip. Like, what voice do I use? Sometimes the voices that we use to ourselves are like so critical and nasty, and you tell ourselves we're stupid, God forbid, or like, right, and like we talk to ourselves in a way that we would never talk to someone else. Like, I would never, meet a kid, or if a kid was sad about something, and be like, don't be sad, like toughen up, you're a man, I'd like never, but sometimes to myself, like I could, God forbid, like let a voice like that get away with being really mean to myself. So I don't let that voice have the microphone much anymore.
How do you do that?
Well, I actually have a story with my inner voice. One time, this was probably about 4 years ago, I was sitting alone and thinking, and all of a sudden some nasty voice came parading between my ears, saying like, you're not good enough, or you're gonna mess up, or I really don't remember the detail, but just berating me, like I'm not a good teacher, like I don't even remember what I was saying, but I was berating myself. And
I found that in this guy's car.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty. I've never seen a white one. I worked all day yesterday. I was walking around like this. Isn't that fun?
This is awesome.
Doesn't really work with the sunglasses, but I don't even know.
So anyway, this voice was like going nuts inside my head.
Yeah.
And I had this awesome moment of stopping, like grace or whatever you call it, like, whoa, freeze frame. And then I zoomed out of that voice. And I like had this other voice that was looking at the mean voice. And I was saying like, what are you doing? Like, what are you saying? Like, you don't, that's not a voice that you use. Like, and the second voice said like, you would never say that out loud, you know? So and the voices had like a challenge.
You would never say what out loud?
The mean words, these disparaging words, if you're gonna fail or you messed up or I don't know, like you're not good enough, you're not good at something that you're actually good at. So I made a challenge to my inner voice. I said, listen, to the mean voice, I said, if what you're saying is true, then I want to hear you like out loud. I'm gonna give you my mouth and see if you could speak it out loud. And the truth is like my mouth knows better than to put out a curse. I thank God, I have shmirat, like guard. I'm careful. I'm conscious of what goes out of my mouth to some degree,
Yeah.
And
you never say that to someone else.
I've never said it to someone else. So I said,
someone else she has big thighs.
Right.
I never do that.
Or that they're, they need to toughen up and stop feeling upset about something. And so I said to the inner voice, I said, I'm going to let you have my mouth for a second and see if you can say that out loud. And the thought went to my mouth and my mouth wouldn't let it out. And what ended up happening is what I did end up speaking was a blessing. I said to my inner voice, I said, listen, please like support me, like use your best words on me. We're bound. We're gonna be working together for my whole life. My inner voice and me. We have to be best friends. So I spoke instead of what was gonna be a curse, saying you're not good enough, blah blah blah. What came out was this bracha, a blessing of like, please inner voice, like support me, encourage me, uplift me, be my friend. And now, whenever a nasty voice comes in my head, I sort of just think about my mouth. I'm like, yeah, really? You think you're true? Like, you think you would be spoken?
And
it just like, the voice like blushes, it's like, gets quiet.
I should try that.
Yeah.
So this is a fine place to park?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Yeah, seems cool.
We'll make you with us. It's really warm.